I just found, as I was saying, that multi-dimensional vaginal healing.
Real quick. Oh, you good? I was just listening. You gotta stop talking. I don't know how crazy I'm gonna sound on this, so I'm gonna just go ahead and get this one out the way. Because the last video I did, we had referenced the Queen of Cups, and in this video, I will be referencing the King of Cups, but I want to show like the little diagram real quick. So we was referencing where the moon was at in the previous video. In this video, we're going to reference where the sun is at. So as you can see, don't ignore that circle. But if you look at Pisces in your upper left right hand corner, you will see the second and third decan of Pisces, or the first and second decan of Pisces, the third decan of Aquarius, and that area would be the King of Cups. It's in your upper left corner. So this is the area that we're going to be talking about because that's where the sun is at. So excuse my grogginess and my little kind of like waywardness, but I find that it's interesting that the Queen of Cups is being discussed, and we should also talk about the King of Cups as well. But we have to also understand that this is not relegated to just the man, because it's the King of Cups. It's not relegated to, just the woman. It's men and women that hold this energy. So is men 30 plus is a stretch. 35 plus is also a stretch. But 40 plus 44 is like perfect. So from 40 is cool, like you in the ballpark. But 44 and up, oh yeah, you right and exact. 44 to about 65, King of Cups. Not a man, not a woman, okay? But the King of Cups is a particular energy and a frequency that we need to bring to light, because ultimately it's like this great vibration, right? This person that you love, right? This person that, speaking the hottest shit, and you ever had an idea and searched it online and somebody face pop up, right? And you like, man, this mug is on it. They got it figured out, right? But you projecting, right, on them, and they're receiving your projections. Lord have mercy. I mean, we grew up in a world where motherfuckers did not know a damn thing. They got handed degrees. Hey, take this degree, fam. Handed houses. Yeah, we'll give you an unfixed, we'll give you a house. I'm talking about people who was growing up in the 80s, where you was either Pablo Escobar, Scarface, or you was Leave It to Beaver, and everything was A-OK, right? So the survival skills that were necessary in these days and time, a majority of energies did not get it, because the King of Cups is all about manipulation. And manipulation means that they're manipulated, thus they naturally will manipulate their offspring or younger people. And we then look at the world in such disarray is mainly because of this King of Cups energy. Now, it's not about men, because I'm saying King of Cups. It's not about women, because I'm saying King of Cups. I'm saying it's people who will lead you astray out here in these streets, and it don't have nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with your shadow projection and their reception of your shadow projection. In order to pay a speaker to speak for a gig, you got to give them money to come. People buy people books. Steve Harvey, Think Like a Man. See, when you do it on the reverse is mean, so I'm not going to be mean today. I'm going to just say that it's a lot of foo-foo, boo-boo out here. So what's the purpose of this conversation? Within yourself, you look at people for what they do, and it don't mean shit to you. It ain't gonna make you no better of a person today or tomorrow. To fully get through this transit, you gotta really be honest about the work that you're willing to put in out here in these streets. Like, anything that you claim, anything that you rep, can you stand in the trials and tribulations that come along with it, such as marriage, right? Or leadership. See, to be a leader, right? To lead men or to lead women, you have to deal with a lot, right? It's just not all glitz and glamour. To lead effectively, to uplift, to enrich, to guide, to aid. But in this day and time, all of our leaders are self-interested. Fair to say? They will help you up to the point that you help them for an exorbitant amount of money. Fair to say? So, when it comes to being led, we out here fucking being led to the slaughter. Because at the end of the day, all we do is turn on the faucet. We don't know how to fucking plumb this shit. We don't know how to get. I was thinking, like, damn, I need to figure out how the water cut from wherever it's coming from to the house. That seemed more like important, you know, electricity, survival skills. I feel like that's important in the world. My wife tells me about the UP, like Michigan, because like Michigan, the mitten. But then it breaks off, and then it has like a whole nother side to Michigan, probably the size of New Jersey, right? Like, to drive all the way through Michigan would take you 8 hours. Michigan is huge. I'm sure it's like Michigan is up there with like state size, right? Like Texas, Cali, then like Michigan and some shit, for real. But you gotta have survival skills to even go up there, right? Like, to even go up there, you gotta be able to survive the elements, which should be some normal human shit, right? But when you deal with the King of Cups energy, your normal human shit, your biological, like, okay, this is what I need to do to move forward for real. For real. Like Mr. Hotspot, right? Like, for real. Like, as opposed to, because you could obsess about something and be frustrated that you don't receive it or don't get it. Pisces energy is like, all right, what the fuck is you going to do about it? Like, seriously. It's probably one of the darkest times. The reason why I'm doing this video, my wife had asked me, like, what's up astrologically? And really, what's really going down is the sun is in Pisces, right? And so a Pisces sun is more rage and jealousy and backstabbing and manipulation and anger more than it is anything, I guess, because when you deal with the shadow, these are the things that people deal with on the reg, but they don't talk about. They don't deal with it. They more or less say, hey, you my homie. Hey, you my brother. Hey, you my sister. Hey, you my lover, right? They don't deal with, or just, you was just my regular homeboy or homegirl. But for real, I'm madly in love with you. So if you look at the tarot card, the moon, okay? The moon is ruled by Pisces. But when you read the significance of the moon, it's talking about going through thresholds and crossing boundaries and going into deeper, dark recesses of life. So imagine when people do work during witching hours, what's happening? The moon is up, right? But imagine the sun being in Pisces. That means that as opposed to just one time during a month where people is doing work more than usual, you have a whole month of people doing, like, Pisces is just like the moon. So the sun in Pisces, it has a moon, Neptune flavor to it, where it's like fantasy, but fantasies can also be diluted. We can sometimes imagine what we're thinking to be right, and in our negativity be right as well. Like, I really don't like this person, right? And you could be inspired by hate. You can be inspired by envy. And that's the King of Cups energy. The most important thing about this is to learn how to be your best supporter. I always talk about self-talk and the apprehension to learning, or if you're really ready to learn and really ready to go for something, then that negates all of the negativity that might happen. I think one of the sayings that comes to mind is like, being bored is the devil's playground or something like that, where if you're not focused on something and you can just be like, all right, I'm gonna just listen to Hood Mystic or whatever, and you think that listening to my videos might be a point. If you be like, well, I listened to all of your videos, it's like, well, what did you do? Nothing. I just listened to your videos. Well, you wasted a lot of fucking time, and you might hate me, right? You might be really salty at me because you like, well, I sat and I listened to all of your videos, and I'd be like, well, what did you do? Nothing. I sat and listened. Well, that is horrible. I'm the worst person in the world for that. You know what I'm saying? That I did not inspire you to do something, to like cut the video off. Like, at some point you would cut the video off and meditate, or cut the video off or visit a mile. You feel me? Or listen to the video while you drive into a mile. You know what I'm saying? Something to that effect. Or listen to the video with your partner, so you and your partner can have real intimate conversations. But just to listen and just be like, man, that shit was good. I hope to like bring some form of action, right? Because otherwise, it to me just seems like some form of like manipulation, or some form of just like holding your time. So I'm gonna go into like people who like spiritual, and they have like platforms, and they'll like do a video or something like that, and they don't be talking about nothing. They don't have even a reason to even be going live for real. They'll just be holding the attention, and then they'll be counting the viewers. Why is that fucked up? Because the messaging and the viewership has nothing to do with nothing, right? When you solid in your message, you don't, numbers ain't a thing. You just want to make sure your message is clear, so when somebody hits you on the double back or the flip, they like, man, I heard that video and that was very clear, that was very transparent. But if I'm doing spiritual shit for me, then all I care about is my bottom line. But the thing about spiritual development is that the bottom line is always met, because you're not in this thing by yourself. Meaning that I'm here to talk about manipulation and how people is manipulating people out here in these streets. I'm not here to waste your time. I want you to understand what manipulation sounds like, feels like in your being. To whereas when you experience it, you can step away from it. Because a manipulator wants to give you a lot of things. That's how they manipulate you. Take this. Take that. Take that. Take that. Like Diddy, right? A1 classic manipulation tactic, especially if you don't have a connection to your soul. Why is this so important? Because if you don't have a connection to your soul, you're not creative. If you're not creative, then you're in a state of fear. When you're in a state of fear, you need a fucking savior. Pisces energy. Gotta go to church. Gotta pray. Gotta hold on to a particular totem, because without whatever totem, and so when you are in a religion, you pray to a god, thus you create this need for a particular savior, not only in the spiritual astral, but in the physical. So when we are in our relationships, they tend to be unbalanced and in a state of manipulation. This is why people break the fuck up and become single co-parents out here in these streets, or two, just live in a state of manipulated bliss. Because the idea of love and happiness and joy and cooperation is not hard. It's only hard if you want it to be hard. My stepmother, she transitioned, but she told me one time when I just got out of prison and I was looking for a place to stay and a job and all of this stuff. And she told me something that I never look back from. I've always held this in my heart and I just know it to be true. I'm like, it's kind of hard. That's what I said. She said, wait a second. She said, it's only as hard as you make it. I said, And from that point, everything in my life has been sort of easy. I keep that approach. Generally, if it's hard, I'm making it hard. So let me make it easy on myself somehow, some way. And kind of keeping that mindset always keeps me positive. It always keeps me in a place of being creative or being able to take that next step, because it's always going to be an easy thing to do because I make it easy, as opposed to the same way as me making it hard. So once again, when you deal with Piscean energy, you're talking about leadership. Leadership is essential on many different levels, right? No matter what, people are looking for guidance, period, right? But since people are looking for guidance, you either pick up on that people are looking for guidance and refine your message and speak truth, and then you get kind of like blocked and shadow banned and pushed to the side, right? Especially if you're a man, right? So what men tend to do is pander for success, right? Because it's hard to trust your soul and trust your creativity every day, because you don't never get validated by the man or society, because you're not pandering, you're not shucking and jiving, you're not kissing ass, you're not praying to Jesus, you're not clocking in and clocking out. So to lead becomes an example, But to be an example is to be very, very true to yourself, extremely true to yourself, extremely honest with yourself, doing enormous amounts of shadow work. Meaning that so much attention has to be placed upon yourself that you don't have time to look at people and be envious or jealous of them or mad at them or angry at them because you got so much shit to learn. So once you come to this conclusion, you can't even be manipulated no more. You can see straight through people bullshit, right? And generally, it's like Kyrie, right? You know me. I'm the person that would, once we do something, shit goes great for you. Fair to say? I'm not going to pull up no real examples, but it's like, it's people out here in these streets that I've partnered up with, and it's been a great experience. But it's not replicated, not because I don't want to repeat it, just more or less because individual success is more important than partnership. Leadership, not leadership unto self, but leadership unto others. Being there for a lot of people, satisfying that part of the ego that's centered in survival, finances, so forth and so on, is being satisfied, but purpose is not being created. So this is the difference between, so the two fishes would be karma and another fish, dharma and moksha and all of the greater shit. See, karma is when we take the wrong path. And the thing about life, we can take a left turn or a right turn. Dharma is when we take the path that we're supposed to take at all times. That way, you're never manipulated. You're never led. You're never led astray. You can sense everything. It's what they call being empathic. One of the traits of the Queen of Cups is empathy. So is another trait of the King of Cups. But the difference between the King of Cups is that it's very, very temporary. So we'll talk about that. An energy been crossing my mind a lot of times this past week, and it's been very, very troubling, family, how in 2021 you can't get deep with people. It's hard to establish a deepness, a depth with people. And for me, it's like I spend a lot of time with myself and doing a lot of, like, not even a lot of time, but I make sure to spend just, if it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, with myself, to just kind of just listen to myself, tune in to myself, and just kind of, be that comfort to myself, right? But I can understand how, like, when you get older, and as I'm getting older, I can kind of see that, like, as my children get older, I have more children, and I'm opening my eyes to certain shit. It's like, damn, you gotta really be honest with yourself. You gotta really be clear about the people that you deal with. And you gotta really think of everything like long term, like even like investments, friendships. Like, you gotta be so fucking real about your life that when people just get on here and just say, just say fuck it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you might think like short term, but the older you get, you start to realize the value of long-term thinking. Like, every day we go to the cemetery, and that's something that I never even thought about, like a burial plot and, these types of things. And I think, like, when you get older, you start pondering these types of things like death, and it's like you really take a turn. And for me, I'm just like, I can see an opportunity and growth and development and all of these particular things, like opening up stores and opening up homes and doing all of this cool shit, because I'm doing all of the investments, getting the credit together, like doing all of this shit. And it's like, what if I didn't? Like, what if I wasn't thinking like I'm thinking? Like, what if I didn't take the time to do the chakra work, to really get to know self, to really get in tune with nature? What if I was really tied into the physical realm? I feel like this physical world, however it's played out, your expectations, however you played out, if they short term, not centered in partnership, they're weak. If they're centered in like leadership, telling people what to do, being the person that give people advice and shit, that's weak. Is going to fall the fuck apart very fast. Why do I say that? Because our ability to sit in partnership is our ability to grow and move forward. But in partnership, it comes a lot of compromise. It comes a lot of creativity. And partnership don't mean like sexual partnership. I'm talking about like the creators of any company out here. There's no real company that exists, that open its doors, close its doors every day, that's like, I did this shit by myself. Even more so when you start like a LLC or a corporation, part of these requirements is multiple people being associated and established with it, like such and brothers and such and sons, right? Legacy is normal shit. What I'm saying is, when you going out for self in relation to astrology, you just creating more karma for yourself. You creating more damage for yourself, even if it feel good, even if you inspired by somebody. Most of your inspiration is delusion. You can't be inspired by nobody. Why? What am I talking about? This shit is called inspired, meaning in, my nigga, in your spire. In your spire, whatever aspire is irrelevant. The shit that I'm talking about is in. To raise your vibration, it starts within yourself. And this is what motherfuckers don't want to talk about. All I could do is hold space and get you to a point of self-realization, not hood mystic realization, because I've already done that. You can't do that. I can only realize myself. You can only realize yourself. So whenever you see these people that stand up, stand on their own 2 feet and say, I'm this person, I can do this by myself with no help, and I can help all of these people, I can generate all of these views, I can generate all of this revenue by myself. Oh, that's the King of Cups. They ain't gonna be in your life for very long. And prepare for the worst, because that's like trying to fucking carry a whole, that's like carrying 300 people on your back across the country. How long you think that's gonna last? Meaning that you might not even make it out the front door. Like I said, I understand how a person can say, well, Kyrie, ain't you talking about yourself? But I'm already said this. If you just came to the video, if all you did was listen to my videos all day, and they didn't inspire you to move, they didn't inspire you to do a ritual or do something creative, then I'm a bad person for that. And generally, like, people listen to my videos not to actually absorb the information or listen. They'd be like, yeah, I heard that before. But it's like, I ain't here for that. I ain't here to converse and have a politicking session. I'm here, like, I'm actually deep diving in the energy of the King of Cups, meaning that I'm channeling and learning and tying in and tapping into the energy myself. I'm here to address manipulation in the King of Cups energy. Because manipulation will not lie to you. A manipulator will tell you right off the rap, I'm here to manipulate you. But if you don't have a sense of self, if you're not inspired, you will be outspired. Meaning I'm sure Spire got something to do with checks. Cause a Sprite or something, Inspire got something to do with money. Cause you will give somebody your money to inspire you. Make that make sense. And see, I was about to say, the only thing that I can inspire, I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there because I think I've been real PG this morning.
Huh?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe with them.
I don't know. I told you I'm going in and out this morning. Apologize for the grogginess. So let me tell you about King of Cups energy. Like I said, it's like a gradient scale from 25 to 35, very light. 35 to 44, normal narcissistic behavior. 44 to 65, oh baby, you stick a fork in it, you're done, baby. It is well done, sizzled, narcissistic, right in exactitude. And what do I mean by narcissistic? I'm referencing the King of Cups. Now, if you're triggered by this, then, you know, narcissism is a psychiatric serious disease. The same way as a person would have a broken leg. And you say, man, you always talking about people walking with their left foot in front of their right foot hood. I get triggered by that. Well, I would say, go to a podiatrist, my friend. Get your feet figured out so you can be on the same level as us. Don't just walk around here with your leg hanging to the side. Meaning, don't walk around here with your narcissism out on front. I am this person. When the world operates on teamship, leadership, this is Pisces, leadership, meaning that your 11th house, your Aquarius is in sync. You, first of all, you big Capricorn energy. You a specialist, you good at what you do. You can't be good at, if you the best person in the world at whatever it is that you do, why wouldn't you team up with a marketer? Since you're the best blank. Why wouldn't you team up with a PR firm since you're the best fill in the blank? Why would you then say, okay, I'm going to market myself? That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. You gotta, even if you're good, you got to get people that you can bounce ideas off of. Even if you're amazing. That's Capricorn energy going into Aquarius energy. Now you have your team Now, in order to go through this thing, so say for instance, we're a team and we're going to be successful, it's good to go through Pisces energy. Why? Because this is where we know where the shadows lie. Do we gotta fight? Let's get our fights off. Let's do what we gotta do. Let's yell. Let's scream. Let's talk about each other mamas. Let's clear it out, right? Let's clear it out. Do you like other women or do you like other men? Let's clear it out. This is Pisces energy. This is time to let it rain. I'll clear it out, right? What is it not the time to do? Act like everything is everything out here. Because what is everything? Then I just know you jealous. I know you envious. I know you hate me. I know you going to come back and do something negative to me in the future. You may not even see it, but I see it. Because we couldn't even get to a point of real conversation, good and bad. It's always good. Okay, that's not real life. That don't exist. So when you go into your relationships and you think you met the man of your dreams, you think you met the dopest speaker of all time, you think everybody full of shit when you get to know them. I'm going to repeat that. Everybody is full of shit when you get to know them. Thus, if your expectations is this person's not full of shit, then your expectations is going to be fucking bursted at some point. Thus, what's the bad? I need to know if I can handle the bad, because if I can handle the bad, then let's get to the good. But ultimately, the world is saying everything must be perfect, and if I project this is the original thing with like leaders and being inspired by people, you projecting your greatness on them, and they're gonna receive it. I say this all the time. Once I stopped listening to conscious niggas, I started referencing my own personal journey. I found my tribe. The thing about billions of people is that there are millions of tribes. But if you imagine everything things are perfect when you imagine that things are negative too. Because you can work through the negativity to really get to a state of perfection. So when you don't actually partner with people and you actually don't work with people and have real life discussions with people, you fake. You fake. Because we look at every corporation in the world, at least I do. And let me be frank, it's a bunch of old white men partnered up, clicked up, and running the world. And we want to be individualized, divided, competing with each other, envious and jealous, and backstabbing, low-key, and all of this type of weird shit. So how do we get to a point of a solution? Remove the hypocrisy. That's what I'm titling this video. All I'm saying is practice what you preach to become perfect at that. Don't preach some shit that you're not working on. If you find a person that's doing all of this type, like my shit is chakras, astrology, psychology, working with the moon. I don't really deal with too much shit outside of that realm. Everything I talk about, chakras, astrology, psychology, working with the moon, don't talk to me about shit else. Please don't say nothing else to me, because I ain't everything to everybody. And everything associated with that, if I'm working with herbs, if you look on my site right now, you're going to see what association those herbs have to the esoteric realms. That's why I fuck with herbs. I don't deal with herbs because I'm an herbalist. I deal with herbs because they represent cosmic energies. Not all herbs either, certain herbs. Certain herbs I don't sell because they too expensive.
I'm sure we'll get there.
One day. But what I'm saying is, everything that I'm talking about is what I'm getting better at. I reference fucking tarot and astrology because I want to become more adept. The people who taught me how to do tarot, he said, I've been studying tarot for 20 years. I'm still learning. I said, bet, I can do that. So you would never hear me saying, oh yeah, I know everything there is to know about anything. Every day I wake up, I'm trying to learn. What can I learn today new? And this creates my conversation. I'm learning. We learning. We don't know shit. The thing about being a witch is about understanding the mysteries. The thing about everybody else is that they know everything. And it's like, can I get $10 though? Oh man, I ain't got it. That stimmy, my stimmy ain't come. You know, my stimmy ain't came yet. But you know everything. My thing is, if we knew everything, then we would be corporatizing the fuck up. We would be doing things at a level of unity and not even like some weird shit where we're partnering up. Because at the end of the day, when I want a goddamn cheeseburger, I go online and fucking put in a couple of boop boop bop bop beat it bop bop, and a nigga pull up to my house with a goddamn cheeseburger. Meaning that we can create applications and apps and have digital platforms where we can connect and share vital information in relation to setting up businesses, incorporating cryptocurrency, forex trading. I know all of this shit. I deal with all of this shit, but I'm not gonna talk about it when motherfuckers don't care about it. So it's just more or less of, I guess speaking for me, it would be learning how to lead by example. And what another part to what my wife said, when the sun goes into Aries, that's in like your appearance and how you look and how the world receives you. We can't sleep on that aspect either. So this is why we do what we do, and this is why we live how we live, to grow and expand, you know. And the things that we're doing as a family, we're just going to share. The places that we go, the messages that we receive, we're just going to share. Do that mean that we perfect? No, because we'll talk about the times that we not perfect. Like, it's like, if you're going to share, then share it all. If you only gonna share what's perfect, you manipulating people. You hear that? If you only want to share the good things, what's the point? So then this is real when it comes to like being successful, but like being successful to the point where you feel comfortable in your success, meaning that can't nobody take your success away. Because generally, when you give good and bad, people, you stand on 2 feet. When you give good, you just stand on 1 leg. So when some shit come out, you knocked off easy. But if you already, meaning that like, so you deal, like I deal with a lot of people on a 1-to-1 level. So if a person was just like, yeah, hood, da 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 da, I know that the people that I already deal with, I mean, they could feed into it, but at the same time, it's like, have I ever gave you that energy? No, you never. So why? Obviously, then that person must be lying. If I can go from person to person to person, have I gave you that? No. So obviously, I know who I am based upon who I deal with and the one-on-one people that I deal with. If a person don't like me, that's their choice. So, I would say, man, learning to be that person that you want to be and being that person and seeing where you fall short at, acknowledging where you fall short at, but don't hide it, because hiding it is shadow. Pisces deals with the moon, which deals with a lot of shadow. So the sun being in Pisces gives us a lot of time to exercise the demons, exercise our hypocrisy, and be pure. So once we get into Aries energy this April, we could be dressed fresh like $1,000,000, you know, living our best lives. But hopefully that was making sense and clear. I just wanted to do a little video until the sun broke, because now I'm about to go type. So I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.